Hello, hello, hello. Incredible greetings. Incredible greetings, everyone. What the heck is this on my microphone? Alrighty, so I'm going to give it a little minute because we have to wait. I just got my notification from my YouTube. Don't know if it sent out notification. Wait, I'm sorry. I muted this. Trying to clear this off of my mic. I made a mistake and muted. But we have to wait for the audience to get on. Hello, hello, hello. Incredible greetings. I have no idea what this is on my microphone. Okay. Hopefully that fixed that. All right. Let's head on over to my phone. Ooh, so that I can change the audience for Facebook. Let's see. Ooh, wait. Stop it. Let's see if we do have the live notification, and we're going to go ahead and change the audience. And then we're going to share it out. Share. 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 Alrighty, we are all shared out. Plug this phone in so I can still access things here. Put this on do not disturb. Alrighty. Boom, 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 and boom. Hello, everyone. Incredible greetings. How you doing? I am Shakia, the professor of HS Inc. 365. We are the home of the Honestly Speaking brand of products. We carry the absolute best summation paper and ink. Our summation paper allows you to submit as low as 365 degrees as fast as 30 seconds. No butcher paper required for most applications because our paper does not bleed through the back. All those other brands that y'all are used to using, and you have to put the butcher paper on top and it bleeds through the back, our paper doesn't do that. So it's going to save you time, money, energy. It's just amazing. Go ahead and check it out over on our website, shop.hsinc365.com. We are also the home of Silaholics Anonymous. That's where most of you guys were introduced to me from. I am your resident Silhouette Studio master, okay? The guru. I've been using Silhouette Studio for 11 years now, almost 12, because my niece is 11 now. So, no, my niece is 10. No, she's 11 because my 10-year anniversary is this month and she was already 1 when we got married. So yeah, my niece is 11 this year. So I'm going on 12 years of using it and about 10, almost 11 years of like teaching it. So I teach Silhouette Studio as a graphic designing software because anybody can use it. You don't have to have a machine, although I do have 7. So if you need help with the machine, I'm able to help you with navigating all things that are silhouette and the cameo machines. Portrait is kind of sort of the same. I don't have any portraits. I've always wanted portraits, but I never got them. But I do have 7 cameos, so I can't help you with the machine. But I really put a lot of emphasis on teaching you guys how to use Silhouette Studio as a graphic designing software because it's free. So if you're just starting out, you want to be able just to make things for yourself personally. I know Canva's out there and there are like elements and things, but if you're someone that's making although you can bring it into Canva also, but if you're just making something like with the licensed characters like Mickey or like Lilo and Stitch that movie's about to come out, you're making that kind of stuff, you still have to go to the internet to get these images anyway. So you can bring them into a free program like Silhouette Studio. There's a way for you to trace and detach. You can't remove complex backgrounds like with the click of a button, but you can still do it. You can manipulate things and stretch and skew and alter colors with hue and saturation and all sorts of things. Like you can do a lot in the free version, which is why I've dedicated 10 years to showcasing how you can utilize Silhouette Studio, not just as a software to cut to the Cameo machines and just like using it for like SVGs and vector type files, like, but you can really design in this software. We have tons and tons of videos over on our YouTube. If you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure that you head on over to Sillaholics Anonymous if you're watching this somewhere else, and subscribe to our YouTube channel and check out those old videos. Don't sleep on the old videos. I know how y'all get as crafters gritty, like y'all don't like to watch the old stuff. You're looking for like the new, you're looking for something from this year, maybe last year. You don't like to really go back into the archives. You go back into the archives, you go back into my crates, okay? It's a lot of great stuff there. And these things don't change. I promise you. The way that I teach, it's timeless. No matter which version of the program you are using, you will be able to replicate that in no matter which version, because I'm all about teaching the tools and understanding the tools and functions, and not just like how the layout is. So don't sleep on those old videos now. But we are also the home of 365 Creative Academy. That is where we help you to unlock your creativity in a wide variety of trainings, everything from sublimation to more intensive classes for silhouettes and designing and learning how, like the beginnings of graphic designing. We have Canva classes. We have classes dedicated to understanding memorial designs, parties. We've done some balloon things. We've done, classes specifically for graduation. We have our phone board. There's so much available on our Academy site. Just kind of pick which class works for you, your needs, and what it is that you're trying to learn at this moment. Okay. And I do these live videos just as a way to connect with those who may not have, maybe just not spent time with me to really understand the value that I bring to the creative community. So I'm always like just asking questions. We have some, pretty good conversations as well, thought-provoking things that make you go, right? But I just like to do these just to be able to connect with you guys, get you guys know me. It just allows you to get to know me a little bit better and where my expertise lies and how I can help you in your creative journey, whether you are doing it as a business or just on a kind of like side hustle level where you're kind of making some pocket change, or if you're just a hobbyist. We have resources that will help you. You just have to know, where do you need help at? Is it in troubleshooting? Is it just trying to figure it all out? Is it mindset? Is it marketing? Is it in designing? Is it how to cut foam board? Is it knowing just the right tools and printers? Do you need help with troubleshooting? Where do you need help at? It's hard for you, like, if you're just saying like everything, sometimes like, oh, no, I'll put that question out there. What do you need help? Everything. Well, we can't address everything, because that's when you end up getting you spend a lot of time. I don't want to say wasted time, but you spend a lot of time on things that are not going to benefit you, things that you're not going to be able to implement and do them so that you can see growth in whatever it is that you're trying to do. So I'm always trying to get you guys to really dig deep, think about what it is that you're wanting to do, even if you've seen it somewhere else in a group like that piqued your interest. How can I help you shorten the learning curve of learning that? Like, that's what I come on these platforms to do. And then if you want to take a deep dive, you go into one of our classes. We do have 2 programs right now that have live sessions going on, where we're meeting on a regular basis, on a scheduled basis, to answer your questions in real time. I don't rush you. I let you ask follow-up questions. So it's not kind of you only get one question per session. I let you kind of do follow-ups to make sure that you get a full understanding. All right. So I'm going to take this time to find out what you guys need help with. I've been doing this for so long. I feel as if I have turned over every single stone there is in this creative journey, and in this creative world, in industry. And I feel like I've done everything. And I know that new people come into this all the time, but I don't know what, my current audience, because there's some people who, I helped them get to a certain point and now they have moved on. I know that there's a lot of new people here. And although I've done so much in over a decade, I know that some of you guys have not seen those videos. So I want to be able to help you now and just figure out what all to do, because like I said, I feel like I have done some of everything. So I just kind of want to hear from you guys. I want to be able to help you answer your question then by I help you. You help me by me helping me help you in just identifying the areas that you guys need help with. Okay. Um, So let's see. Hello, hello, hello. Incredible evening. She's like, OMG, this customer just made me add a revision to my policy. OMG, I wish we had class tonight. Oh my God, I cannot wait to hear about this on Thursday, girl. Oh my God, I can't wait to hear what this was like. So we have what's called the Creative Business Program. And what I love about it is moments like this, like being able to be in a room with those who understand, when things happen, especially with customers, and being able to talk through it. It allows you to get, like, let's say like you maybe have never experienced like certain things, but when somebody else kind of talks about like their situation, it kind of puts in the back of your mind. And I encourage people, once if it happens to someone, it could potentially happen to you. It's not that you're trying to put bad juju like out there, but put it in your policy. So we learn from each other and when things happen, so that you can keep your policies and terms and conditions like updated. So I cannot wait to get into session on Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and get into that one, girl. All right. So hello, hello, hello. I need to know how to create that Letterman jacket tumbler. Ooh. Now, I mean, that is one. How familiar are you with just designing? It really is a lot of like shapes and things of that nature. That's really, all that it is. Now, I'm not going to show that on here as far as like how I put that together. You can always book a one-on-one session if you want to go through something like that technical, because it is a lot. It is, pretty much a lot of like just shapes, but how well are you with edit points? And subtract and like the modify tools, because that whole thing was done in Silhouette Studio. And a lot of it is really just kind of simple shapes and just kind of looking at a Letterman jacket and just kind of following the silhouette of it. Hold on one moment. I had MJ do something. He's I can't wait for Zion Imani to grow up and get tall enough to where he can be your employee. Sir, don't play with me. All right. So who all is on? Drop a hey, how you doing? Let me know where you are watching from. My lips are chapped. So 1 second. Let me know where you guys are watching from. And I am here to help. But like I said, I want to hear from you guys and what it is that you're working on. What is it that you're wanting to master? What are the areas that you are struggling in? I know kind of some of the areas, but I just really want to hear from you guys, because I don't want it to be, if I'm being honest, I don't like when people are like, they did something only because I said to do it. Like, I may speak on things based off of my experience and like what works for me, and me being in this industry for nearly 3 decades. But it may, and also living in Miami, because it's a different breed down here. Okay. Like I am from the state of Miami, not the state of Florida. I am from the state of Miami. It's a different breed here. The people here are different. So it's like my perspective on things might vary from yours, but I am a great instructor and a great teacher where no matter what you're like, I'm able to kind of block out just like my journey and what happens here in South Florida, and able to speak to you based off of what you are experiencing in your areas, really looking at like what your goals are, what that you want to do, and helping you devise a plan and a strategy. You just have to be open to it. I find that a lot of times what holds me back is them not wanting to implement certain strategies. They feel like, well, I got this. Like, I can't, they're not going to do this, especially when it comes to pricing and things of that nature. But you have to be willing to be the disruptor in your local area, in the industry, to see changes and to get the results that you want. All right. So, hey, watching from Atlanta, Fort Worth, Texas. I struggle with edit points, smoothing out edges. So, this is one where, I mean, a lot of people will say that, right? Like, I get that a lot. That's definitely within the top 5 things like people struggle with silhouette. But then I always kind of ask, like, how much are you practicing, right? I'm always needing a little bit more detail. Like, what are you doing? What aren't you doing? Like, are you following the videos I have? And when I'm doing certain ones and I'm working with edit points, when I talk about you want to eliminate a lot of points. So with your struggle with edit points and trying to smooth them out, are you trying to move around? Like, it's a lot of points clustered together and you're trying to move those. Have you taken the advice of eliminating a lot of them and kind of putting your own edit points and going around it? Have you taken our Essential Silhouette Studio class where we teach you to start off like edit points like from scratch, and we go from like a square and make it a circle. We take a circle and turn it into a square by utilizing the different tools like make flat or corner and things of that nature. So how much practice are you doing outside of an actual project? So like sometimes it gets frustrating and people give up because they're trying to work on like edit points and things like that for a specific project. It's like, okay, I don't have time. I'm going to go to what I know. And then you just kind of give up. And I'm not saying that to you, but I do find that happens a lot when, especially when I'm in Zoom sessions and I'm able to kind of like have dialogue back and forth. That they just kind of give up. And it's like, oh, well, I couldn't figure it out. So I just went to Cricut, or I just went to this and just removed that. Like they just kind of avoid it versus practicing it when you don't have an order or don't have like a specific project. Our Essentials of Silhouette Studio class is designed, like if anybody that has really gone through that and you didn't just get it and it's just sitting there, if you have gone through the lessons and all of those images, because they are strategically chosen, if you have gone through those and you're still like, I'm a step on them and say you really shouldn't have a lot of issues if you've put in the work and you don't see them as, okay, well, that's just there, whatever. Like, okay, well, I don't need a cars. I don't need a pineapple. I don't need a bird or Ernie. I need this thing done. But those images were chosen specifically for a reason, because it goes over almost every single scenario that you will run into when it comes to editing points and then like smoothing things out and just kind of like, making it how you envision it to look. Did you go through and do each of those images? There's a pineapple, there's the Cars image, what's his name? Lightning McQueen. You have what's the video game with the V-Bucks? Fortnite logo. You have Bert and Ernie and the way that their hair is. You have that unicorn that really takes you like in and out. You have the word Buccaneers where the edges are kind of rounded. And when you go through that training, it kind of helps you with like, now it does like that one is very, very technical because I'm using like lines to help line it up and stuff like that. But like how you can move those and then make everything flat so that it's now nice and sharp. But I strategically chose every single image that is a part of like that part of the training for a reason. So if you have our class and you have not gone through and manually traced out every single one of those images, I need you to do that. If you feel like you're struggling with edit points, I need you to go through every last one of those, because if you're going through those and you figure that out, like as you're going through that, it should help you with any image you have. And this is why, like, y'all have to make time for it, to even if you're doing one or two images a day, because that unicorn is a beast. That, let me see if I can pull it up. That unicorn, I'm not gonna lie, the unicorn is a beast. She's something else, but you have to go through. You have to go through them. Like there's no shortcut to that. Hey, thank you for joining from Virginia. Daytona, also I'm gonna, you are a Floridian. I'm a Miami, but no, fellow Floridian. Hey, Houston, Texas. How art thou? Okay, what's going on here? I'm trying to pull it up. Okay, let's go to 30 days, 30 days, 30 days, 30-day training, 30-day training, 30-day training. Oh, I'm in the wrong one. That's why. Okay, hold on. I am definitely in the wrong one. I need to be in Silaholics Academy. Hey, from the 305. All right, so let's scroll on down. And I actually named all of them. Lightning McQueen, the Pineapple, Fortnite, Bert, Ernie, Unicorn, and Buccaneers. I know my class. I'm telling you, I know it's my class. All right, so as you can see here, so with these, the objective is to go through this with your edit points. And like in this case, remove the black and white checker, black and white, gray and white. Now, could you technically use trace and detach? Sure. Right? So we're going to go there. We're going to come like this. You would take this up, bring it down. Oh, well, why'd you go way up there? Like, why you at 50? I'm like, why do the edges look all raggedy? So we would go here. I'm going to take this down a little bit more. If you did not know, you do not have to have everything filled in when it comes to trace and detach. All right. You're just looking for the edges and you want it to be as close as possible, which this one actually isn't that bad. I think I even said it in the class. You can do this particular one with trace and detach, but I like this one for point editing because do you see how his hair is? And it's a lot of going in, out, up, in, out, and like having to change directions because it swoops down here. So although you can do this with simply using trace and detach, using the edit points will allow you to like really, really get familiar with edit points. So I'm going to put a green background. Because I want you to be able to see. So I did it, right? But you see how we can see white. So I want to kind of go like, if I were to do a print and cut on this right now, like I was to go, put it on some paper, do a print and cut, I would have white there, not even if it's like perfect, right? Let's say this print and cut, it cut it out perfectly. I'm going to have the appearance of white, not because the machine messed up or it shifted or it didn't read the registration marks correctly. There is technically white on the edges of this. So it's not going to cut into the black because this was a little bit like pixelated and things of that nature. It doesn't go into the black. So when you go and you print this out, this is going to be on white paper. You're going to cut and you're going to have a little bit of white along the edges. It doesn't always maybe stand out so much when you're looking at it on a computer screen, or if I was to make this well, no, I can still see the white. See, on the gray, you couldn't really see this. Why I added the green screen. Well, I call it green screen. The green box behind it, because you can see the imperfections on this. Like in this area, it goes up and then come out. Most people won't care about little details like that. It's good enough. It's fine. It doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be perfect. And I get it. But if you take an image like this as a way to practice edit points when you cannot just use trace and detach, if it is a complex background and you want to be able to remove someone from the background, you will need edit point. You will need a working knowledge of utilizing your edit points in order to be able to do that. So there are little tricks that you can do it if it was traced really, really good, and it kind of goes into the crevices well. Things like using internal offset. And I'm going to make this 0.01. I can't even tell where. Okay, so that's probably, so let's go 0.015. Let's bring it a little bit more. I'm going to apply. I'm going to select this and then crop. And so you can see now where it's right to the black. There's no pixeled edges, but I also don't have really sharp corners. This is rounded when this should be more of a sharper corner. Okay, that's what edit point allows you to do. Point editing allows you to do is make those little changes like that to where you can really make it like a corner. Here where it went up and we don't have the corner here, you double click, you're going to click on that. We're going to go corner and then pull this up and then pull this side up so that that is smoother. So don't, working in smaller areas and just fixing those fine, even if you feel okay, this is good enough. If you fix even just the little areas on an image that you actually need for a project, that still helps you with maneuvering the edit points. So hopefully that helps. But these were all strategically chosen for a reason, because although their hair is kind of spiky in the pineapple, this is kind of straight when it comes to the pineapple versus their hair goes in and out, in and out, in and out. And so this is kind of the intermediate, right? Because he doesn't have as many spikes. But it's if you can finish Bert, then doing Ernie is going to be a lot easier. Or if you want to challenge yourself and start with Ernie and then kind of go, then it's oh, okay, he doesn't have as much. And then the way his face is, he has longer lines than Ernie does. So making those curves are a lot easier on his face, whereas you have tighter curve, the way that this is here, it's shorter, then you have to transition and then get around the ear. His ear sticks out more than this one. So like I said, these were all strategically chosen for a reason. Here you have a lot of straight edges and a mixture of, doing the curves. This right here is, that's the one, right? Although it's at the top, it's the one where, if you really want to challenge yourself and kind of go there, and the rest of them may seem like a breeze, but this is that one, okay? She is a beast when it comes to getting around this star, making the little curly Q here and the flower. Because we were able to really get through the majority of this and kind of go around it, but when you get to this flower, this little curl, and this star, that's when things get really, really interesting. Okay. But if you don't have the class, get it and practice with your edit points. There are like background removers and things, but sometimes you can, like, I started with just doing them myself. You know who I want to do? Let's do, and you guys are more than welcome. I was really trying to stall, waiting for you guys to kind of post some additional questions. So feel free to go ahead and post your questions. Let's see, her picture is kind of small. I don't like that one. I really want Janelle Monáe. Hers was so dope. Let's see here. Here, let's do my girl. Now, her hair is going to be a little weird. Her hair is going to be a little bit weird. But let me show y'all while we wait for additional questions. Which class? It is in our Essentials of Silhouette Studio. I'm not sure what day that is for edit points, but it's in our Essentials of Silhouette Studio training, which is where I go over all of the essential tools and functions of Silhouette Studio. And it's like a dedicated day. And we do that for, well, the initial one was 30 days. We go through each part of it for about 25 days. And then we have kind of some practice days. And then you also get access to the 14-week refresher and the 10-week review. All right, let's see how fast I can do this. I'm just going to add a few points in here just to kind of get me started. Let's see. And I'm just doing this, guys. I know that, don't get mesmerized by this. I would like to answer additional questions for you guys. So feel free to drop your questions. I know this might seem interesting, but I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys have questions outside of just like edit points. Stanley can't be the only one that has some things that, gives him a little, he's having a little bit of difficulty with. Now, see, I'm very old school, and I learned to really work the pen tool when I first started graphic designing, like the pen tool in Photoshop. So that's why I actually love edit points, because it just reminds me of using the pen tool. Now, it doesn't move quite like the pen tool does. You have a little bit more control when it comes to the pen tool in Photoshop. So there's no other questions outside of Stanley's question about edit points. You guys are rocking and rolling. You're grooving in all of your business endeavors when it comes to designing, figuring out designs, knowing how to navigate each software you use, whether it's Silhouette Studio, Photoshop, Canva, Cricut Design Space, Illustrator, Photopea, all of those. You guys are perfectly clear on all of those things. And you're like, look, I got this. I don't need no help. I'm just watching you like you're just an episode on Netflix or something. I'm here for entertainment, not to learn. Let me know if I have those who are here just for entertainment purposes and just to kill time while you're waiting for dinner to be done and you're not really in need of any type of help. This is just entertainment for you. All right, so I'm going to do this just that you can see the progress that I have made on this. Wait, let me duplicate her. Look at how clean that is. And that's why I said, you can use things like remove BG and stuff like that, right? It'll probably get, especially around her hair, it'll be a little bit softer because this is vector. So everything is going to be like straight lines. Well, it's going to be like solid lines. It's not going to be feathered out like if you were to use a background remover. But if you were to use something like Remove BG, if you're not paying for it, you're going to get the preview version where here I brought in the full high resolution image, and I will be able to go ahead and remove that background and have my girl Cardi just by herself. Without needing to use an outside yeah, there are ones where it's a click of a button, but a lot of times to get a high resolution one, you have to pay a monthly subscription to be able to have access to those features. Okay. But just kind of wanted to show that and all of this background and then here. And I did kind of go into this part where the florals were. And you can always, like if you need to refine it, you can always pull it back. But I actually did pretty good with that. And so what I'll end up doing is I'm going to go here. Let's go remove background. And we'll bring Cardi in. Okay. What the heck is going on? All right. We'll let that think. And I think it pulled this area out. I kind of there's a little bit of the carpet. I think it's kind of going up, but it pulled that area out. And I think it even made her hair where it was kind of choppy on her hair as well. Like this would be the only thing where you can't really fuzz out like the way her hair is. It would be kind of it's going to be kind of straight lines. I mean, I can go like in and out so it doesn't just seem like so straight. And this is where you would add more and more points so that when you're looking at it, it's not just a straight line. So just kind of going in and out. But hair, like when it's somebody's hair like this, it is a lot harder to like remove the background and not have it look boxy. All right, is this ready yet? And look, I still can't even do it. So let's try that again, shall we? Actually, I meant to pull the preview one, not the high quality one. I wanted you to see the difference. So like, yes, her hair is just feathered out. It still kind of gave that shape, but it feathered it out. It softened it just a little bit versus kind of having that solid, the solid piece there. But you're also missing this part, but you can always bring that back in. You would have to go into edit and restore, go to restore and just restore that area and then re-download it. And it doesn't count as another download. Like it doesn't take another credit away from you, but that's how you would be able to do that. All right, so let's see here. All right, if no one asks a question after a while, I would like to know how to create curved shapes. Like for example, curving a rectangle. So if I'm understanding what it is you're trying to do, you're trying to warp it, and that would be the warp tool. Um, so it's not like Photoshop where you can have what's like envelope and you click on it and you're just going to kind of create this arch. So Silhouette Zone is not that intuitive for something like that. So it's great. We got to remember that this is kind of a beginner type software. Some of the things that you guys want to be able to do, it is going to require you to get a more robust editing software like Photoshop, where you can go in there and you can go to the warp and it has, wave and arch and things of that nature. It'll curve the top, keep the bottom flat, or reverse, keep the top flat, curve out the bottom. But we will go back over here and so you would go into your warp tool, and there are hold on. there are shapes here, and you will be able to do it that way, right? And so it's going to create that shape. This will create kind of an arch, and then you could pull this up, pull this one down, or actually let's arch this one up more. And so that's going to curve that. So you can do that one. This one is a shape like that. So it works better. It does work really great with shapes. Now, fonts and like pictures of people, it can be kind of funky. But when you're talking about just shapes, you definitely can create different shapes with the warp tool. And I'm going to restore original, or you can always use the like free, I call it like a free form warp, and you're going to select warp. But with this, you can decide how many columns and rows you want, because that's going to give you more control for certain things. Like something like this, you wouldn't want this many. You would want, like if you're just wanting it to curve, but you'll have more control. And you want to use guides to make sure that like your lines and things stay straight. And I'm going to bring this up to here, bring this up to here. We're going to bring this one down, bring this one down, and curve. There we go. Incredible afternoon. I made a design for my mom for Mother's Day, and have never did a split image. Do you have a tutorial on how? Wait, on that. So I made it myself because I thought it was something I could. So what do you mean by split image? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Will you clarify when to use release Oh man, that's a loaded question. There are so many different times to use release compound path. Oh man. There's no one time. Like it's, if you have a, so I'm going to go. If you have a letter that has an internal part to it, you would release compound path to be able to release, and we'll also have to ungroup. And now this comes out, you can put something else there, or you know how like is it like Martin, or like, is it one of those where you have the middle part is a different color? So now you can make that a different color. So you would release compound path to release that inner shape. You would make it a compound path to go ahead and cut that out. If you got something and it was all in one, so let's say you did a trace of something and it's all connected together, you will release compound path to separate all of those. If you have multiple things, so we're going to go and I'll take these two. I'm going to also put like a star to where it's really small. And I'm going to fill this in with a pattern. So we see how the pattern is really small here. It's bigger here. It's like in the middle here. Well, if you want to make this like all the same, you could make this a compound path. I'm going to fill it in. It's going to fill it all kind of with the same pattern, and they will scale. And then I can always release compound path. Now there is a trick to that. I teach it only in my Essential Silhouette Studio class, or some other trainings as well. So I'm just going to make this a compound path, but these are now all the same. So even if I wanted to just pan this, I can, to show like a different part of it, but it's all the same size pattern. It's not like one part is big, one part is little. So that's one of the times when you would want to make it a compound path, and then, maybe release it so that the pattern is the same. If you're not going to crop. Now, if you have a box there and you just crop it to all three of those, they would have the same scale of pattern. But like that's a situation when you would use compound path to like, so let's see, I'll go back to here, And these were all separate, right? Well, if I want to go in and edit them, I have to click on each individual one. Well, while editing this, I would want to make this a compound path so that I see the edit points for all of them. And I can still edit letter for letter, but I don't have to go in and keep double clicking on this letter, this letter, this letter. They're all like, it makes it where it's all one, and I'm going to see all the edit points, and I can go in there and make adjustments as needed. If you have something that is, let's say I want to break the path on something. So we have this here. I'm going to double click and I'm going to click on these two. I'm going to go break path. Well, it looks like nothing kind of happened. They're still together. Well, I need to release the compound path so that I can move this, and it broke that path. So there's a lot of different times when you would make or release compound path. The important thing is to get in the class and actually listen to the breakdown of it, where I'm fully explaining what compound path does. And then it'll be easier to figure out when to use it and when not to use it, because you will understand exactly what does that do for like certain files and things of that nature. So yeah, it's not a one size fit all when it comes to compound path. Do I teach Cameo Plus? Define that, because the program is the same for all of the machines. If you're having an issue with your machine itself, is it that it's not cutting right? How to do your settings. So with that, you could for the most part, everything is the same, whether it's a 12-inch. I don't have a plus, but it's going to be the same. So I do discuss it in classes. But if you have a specific question, you're running into some sort of issue with yours, just let me know. But when it comes to the program works for every machine, from the Silhouette SD, the original Cameo, the Cameo 2, the Cameo 3, the Cameo 4 Plus and Pro, the Cameo 5, 12-inch Plus and Pro. The program is the same. Okay, so we do have a class that will make that process a whole lot easier. I'm telling you, take the class. It's the oversized, oversized prints, because I show a technique in that just makes it really, really easy. As far as what I show here on like public platforms, we do have a class. I have a video that's on Silaholics Anonymous that shows it. You will need to save it as a JPEG for the I'm gonna say it's like complicated way, but you have to flatten it, because when it comes to splitting something up, you have to crop. You cannot crop multiple images or multiple elements. It's one-to-one. So if you have this design and it has all these different elements, yes, you may group them together, but that does not make them one. They will move as one on the screen, but they're not one piece. The moment you crop, it's going to look all kind of crazy. So you have to flatten it. If you have Business Edition, you can go in and go File, Save As, and then choose JPEG, and then open that back up, and then you'll be able to crop it down. If you don't have Business Edition, you can do print to PDF, and a lot of times it will still have like a JPEG option. If you have a Windows computer, you can do PDF Creator, and there is an option in there to do PDF as well as JPEG. There's a PNG option, but it does not give you a transparent background, so just do JPEG. And what you're doing is called flattening, or like it's almost like in Photoshop, you're just welding it. You're just making it one whole JPEG. Now, once it is one whole JPEG, then you will be able to break it up. So let's say we take this image of Cardi B, and I don't want her to be like too big. Well, I guess I kind of have to. So I'm going to use 13 by 19. I start with a box and I'm going to make that, unlock this. I'm going to make that 13 by 19. And then I'm going to do an internal offset because of the print margin. So I'm going to go 0.1. It's really like 2.5, but I'm going to just go 0.135 just to give me a little bit more wiggle room, and then apply. And I want to take that middle one. So you're going to, so for this one, I should be able to go the long way. And then I'm going to duplicate below. And so I would need, let's see, no, maybe not. I can probably, can I get it all in there? Nope. So there's still like this little sliver right here, even like with this size, would it be 1319? So just for the sake of this, I'm going to go ahead and make, actually, you know what? I'll make it a little bit longer. Okay, where it still fits in the 19, but I will move her down some, and I'm going to do another one. So with like these two, well, normally, I mean, actually, hold on, let me take this off. I'm going to click here and I'm going to move it up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'm going to duplicate below again and I'm going to move it up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And then I now need to duplicate this whole thing again. So I'm going to duplicate it this way. All right. I don't want the middle square or rectangle on this one. And on this one, I don't want the top or bottom. I'm going to select this and we're going to crop. We're going to select here and crop. So that now breaks this up to where when you piece them together, they will have overlap. You don't ever want to cut them where they butt up against each other like this. You want overlap. So I'm going to take my transparency down on this so I can see. Bring to front. Where that overlap should be at. So I want you to see that there is it's a little bit easier when you're looking at the actual print. Okay, hold on. Okay, there we go. But when I take the transparency down, this is, I'll say I will take this one down too. So you see that darker area? That's where both pieces are overlapping. So you have to create that overlap. But like I said, in my class for oversized prints, I show a much easier way. Essentials is something that you should go back and I created the class and I go back and I watch it. It is not something that you kind of like, oh, watch it one time. I have this. It is meant to be your ultimate reference guide. So you should be going back to watch it quite often. I go back, watch essentials to crop. Oh, I just show cropping. Can you do a quick demo because I'm doing something wrong every other time I practice? So that's something I can't cropping is cropping. Like in every situation is going to be different. It depends on what it is you're trying to crop. If you have multiple things there and that's where your issue is because you're trying to crop multiple things because they're layered and you want to crop it down and you go to crop and then like it messes up, then you have to go back to your notes of you can only crop one to one. So you have to make a duplicate of that box and just kind of once you copy it. So now make a duplicate, you want to copy it. And then you're going to paste it in front. You're going to select the element. You're going to crop. You're going to paste it in front again, select the next element, and then you're going to crop. You can only do one to one. That's what's important to remember when it comes to cropping in Silhouette Studio. I answered your question. So let me know as far as like what is that you're trying to do exactly when it comes. What kind of class are you looking for with Cameo Plus? Is it a specific, like you just don't know how to cut, how to do your settings? You're needing to go over like the cut settings and how to set your blade, because we do have what's called Silhouette Studio First Cuts, and I break down the machines, and but it's not just for the Cameo Plus. It goes over all of the machines, because for the most part they are exactly the same. It's just the difference is just the sizing. My colors are coming out dull when I sublimate an image. Can you help? They're supposed to. So are you saying, well, are you already sublimating and it's coming out dull, or when you're printing it, it is not as bright? So clarify that for me. Is it the print, or after you have pressed it, you're not satisfied with the color output once you have pressed it? So I just showed that how you would split it up, decide which paper you're going to use, and you're going to split that and print and cut it together, put it together. Thank you so much. I really need to learn this. I guess she won't get this in time. I need this class. So yeah, you can go take the class for that. It's available on our website. That helps a lot. I'm working through the essentials class, but I haven't gotten to that part of the class yet. Okay. Man, if I can get you guys, especially if you're watching over on Facebook, give this video a thumbs up. Leave a comment, guys. Let's work this algorithm. I don't know. I guess they're just seeing it as on Facebook that it's not, you guys are engaged over on Facebook. So if you guys can definitely help out with that. Yeah, Facebook has fully suppressed my video. Okay, I'm not satisfied with the color after pressing. What is it that you're pressing to? Is it fabrics? Is it hard substrate? Is it tumblers? Is it mugs? Is it MDF like keychains, or like fan, different cut, like anything that's like the wood stuff? Is it stainless steel? Is it ceramics, fabrics, the fans? Like what exactly are you pressing to? Okay, color charts won't have anything with it being dull. So this now leads me to another question. And this is why I love, like I'm telling y'all, being a part of my live Zooms where you don't have to like type this out and we can literally have this dialogue like boom, 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 back, 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 back in the Zoom sessions. It's just a totally different experience, right? To be able to get those answers in real time and like quick like that. Our creative lounge just is that's a place where you can kind of come and just get those questions answered in real time. Be on a live Zoom with me, share your screen with me. You can turn your camera on. I can see what it is that you're doing, help you troubleshoot, to help you understand what's going on. So if you have not enrolled in our creative lounge, I encourage you to do so. We do have a live session tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, so are your polyester shirts 100% polyester, or are they a blended shirt? And so when we say don't, like, is it just not, I'm trying to see, what shirt do I have here? Do I have a shirt in here that it, well, my shirt, this shirt is, but it is on Glitter HTV. Hold on. I mean, this is just polyester fabric, so kind of sort of the same. Here is a shirt. I'm hoping I have a shirt here that's a blended shirt. And is it an all white shirt? That's another important question. Is it an all white shirt? I don't have a blended shirt in here. Or a colored shirt. Okay. Are you still with us? Okay, 92% all white. Okay, so that is a high one. What brand of paper are you using? Okay, I'm trying to find. Uh-oh. Really? Why is it going to a totally different video? And that's probably also like an issue with this. I'm clicking on my video and it's going to a totally different. I hate when, wow, that's probably why this is happening. So I'm on my video. So if somebody's scrolling through and they're looking for this and they click on it, it takes them to a totally different video. I don't like that at all. Like, that's really messing with my numbers. That's probably what's going on with this. And anybody leaves out of it trying to get back to this video would, let me see. So let me see if you click here, does it? So if you click there, it'll take you to the video. But that's kind of crazy that it's going to a totally different video if somebody was to click on my video. So yeah, see, I click here. Okay, now it's going to this one. Okay, good. But now I don't see the class that, I mean, not the class, the comment that I was looking for to reply to. So, oh well. It could be the paper. So we have our own brand of paper. It is on sale right now, 52% off. You can sublimate 365 degrees, 30 seconds. And these are the results. Okay. This is a 100% polyester shirt. I really feel like the camera is doing this no justice. But that's that. Oh, wait, I'm trying to see. Okay, there we go. So you can see the color output on that. This particular one is 88% polyester, 12% polyamide. And this is how it comes out on like these rags. And this is 88% polyester. Now, this is 100% polyester, but it is a very shiny fabric. So, but this is, and this is plain paper setting. This is not premium matte. This is plain paper. So see, plain paper set to the highest quality. And then this is the premium matte one. No, this is plain paper. Oh, this is premium presentation paper matte. And the top one is plain paper. The payoff for ours is amazing. You don't have to use premium matte to get great colors. So look at that one. I'm going to come to the Creative Lounge tomorrow. Okay. So that allows me to see it, but it could be that you're over sublimating because you're using the paper that you're using. It could be that you're over sublimating or under sublimating. So I'm not sure like what temp and time. You want to make sure that your heat press is actually outputting the right temperature. With a sub, you have to put a barrier sheet there. So depending on which one you're using, butcher paper is a lot thicker than parchment paper. So it requires more heat and more time for that heat to really kind of get past that barrier layer, which is your cover sheet, to fully release all of those gases onto your shirt. So you want to make sure that you know the output of your heat press. And you may have to do some testing to figure out what's going to be like the perfect time, and don't go over. Some people are like, okay, well, it's not coming out bright enough, and they will go longer than 60 seconds and their heat press is a little bit hotter. Well, you are over sublimating and it's affecting the colors. So you may need to dial back and do less time and actually also adjust your temperature. You may have yours set at 400, but it could be outputting higher than that. That happened with my Hotronix. It was about 20 degrees off. So it was like scorching and burning everything until I used the temp gun and realized it was 20 degrees off. I just didn't expect a $2,000 heat press to come not calibrated. But when I went to go check it, it was like literally like 20 degrees off. So it was running really, really hot. That's making everything look horrible because it's burning it and it's over sublimating. So there could be a number of factors if the color is truly dull. Now, some people will say that their colors are dull, and it's not that they're dull. Like the print, it's the color itself is very vibrant, but it's not the right color. So I'm not sure if that might be it. And so if you end up coming to Creative Lounge tomorrow, you'll be able to like physically show that to me. And then we can kind of work through that to figure out exactly what is like, is it your settings? Is it the material that you're using, things of that nature? Or is it simply you're not wanting those particular colors? Now, we've gone over this quite a few times before. If you are someone that's using an ET printer, your colors are going to be off. Something might look darker instead of it looking brighter, right? So some people will say, oh, it's dull because let's say it was supposed to be like a hot pink, a neon, or it was like a neon type color. It was supposed to be like a teal, and now it's coming out a darker color. So sometimes people will say dull for that, and it's just coming out a darker tone because those ET printers with that pigment, like it can't read. You're putting something that's kind of like a pigment type ink and a dye-based print, and it mixes different, so it's going to come out darker. So it's darker, not necessarily dull. But I won't really know that until I can see it and also see like the picture that you're trying to print out and be able to help you from there. Anyone else with any other questions? Where are your trouble areas in your creative journey? That is what I'm here to help you figure out. If we don't see any new questions, we'll go ahead and close out. All right, no new questions. I offer to help. There's so many coaches who build their platform on, well, I'm here to help you and to teach you, because everybody's gatekeeping. Yet for 10 years I've come on these platforms and said, what questions do you have? Pick my brain. I want to be able to help you. We can help you more if you join a class, but I make room to where, for those who don't have a class, or it might be a while until the next class, you might have an immediate need now. And I want to be able to answer those questions. Like in these sessions, we've answered questions, Silhouette, Photoshop, Canva. So although my specialty is, and that's how I started this business off of Silhouette, I am well versed. I learned Photoshop and Adobe first. So I've answered questions. Do I do a lot of classes on Photoshop? We have like our essentials and things of that nature. I don't necessarily teach design through that because I like to kind of catch the beginners. And Silhouette Studio is a great platform to learn for beginners. But if you end up having a question about something when it comes to Photoshop, I am able to answer that for you. We've answered questions about business and marketing and pricing and troubleshooting printers and heat presses, troubleshooting the Cameo machines. I'm a wealth of knowledge, and I do my best to try and share that with you guys. The class for what it for the oversized, so it's literally called Oversize. So if you go to our website and you type in oversized prints, you should be able to find that class. In the beginning part, so there's actually, oh wait, did I release that one? So because people wanted to know like about shirts, I kind of go over that in the beginning, like giving tips and things for like shirts and stuff like that. I now don't really kind of worry about like the collars. I'm very particular when it comes to those things, but I've come to realize most people don't care. Hell, I'm noticing that people don't even care when it comes to doing the all over shirts. They don't even bother to put the little cover piece inside the shirt for the collar so that the color doesn't go to the back of the shirt. Most people I'm seeing, they're just putting the shirts down, throwing the transfer on top, and they're pressing it. I don't even operate that way. Like when I have done them, I'm going to put like a little piece of parchment paper or butcher paper like in the collar so that the color does not transfer to the back. Like it's only in the front. A lot of people, they don't care about that. So like in my class, I kind of went over that part as far as like taking an image and like how to make your own template, which is why we had a video that just kind of went over just the cutting out part of it, because some people may not need all of like the little different tips and things like that for all over shirts, because it wasn't meant to be an all over shirt class, but I did go into some things of like, this is what you can do. Like this is how you would set your design up if you're doing all of it. My main focus was if you were doing something that was oversized. So I think I did like, I went over like a rug print. I've done a video. So you asked like for a pillow. I've done a video where I had a pillow and basically piecing them together. So there's not in that video, like there's a video somewhere on one of my channels on probably Honestly Speaking. But in that class, like that's really what that was for, is like, how do you go and break these up? So yes, I answered that well in the beginning. What do you need to learn it? How well do you know your system? How well do you know as far as like working shapes? And it's just kind of looking at one and just following. A lot of it is just shapes, but I did answer that in the beginning. What you'll need to learn is just kind of understanding designing, understand composition, layout, and like just utilizing shapes, because everything in there was literally just a shape and edit points. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here. Until next time, have a great one. Continue to unlock your creativity. Be incredible. Be sure to visit shop.hsa365.com. That is where you will find your Honestly Speaking summation paper and ink. You also have access to our classes from there. You can also visit 365 Creative Academy to sign up for our various programs, like our creative business program. And we're going over the true business aspect. So if you're wanting to learn about like, okay, well, I want to have a business making shirts, and you're still trying to figure out shirts and things like that, there's other classes. Our creative business, because there's people that do all sorts of different things, is truly about the business side, understanding branding, marketing, setting up your descriptions, setting up systems. Like that's so important. Systems to make your life easier. Mindset, just understanding customers, going over policies, and building those together. Like we go through all of that in this program. So head on over to our website, learn.365creativeacademy.com. Until next time. Okay. I think this is a Creative Lounge question. I would like to learn to make gift card holders. I recently purchased one, but I would like to learn. So there, I think I did see that one. There isn't a, like, it depends on what it is that you're wanting to do, right? Is it a certain style? Because I couldn't tell, like, if the one that you had, is it one where it's like a pocket and you pull that out and like the gift card thing was in there? So like, that it really depends on what it is that you're trying to make. Now, creating some, like, you can really take any like SVG and be able, like, especially if it's already set up where it's like meant to be like a pocket one, and be able to set that up. Now, going and creating things in specific shapes from scratch, that's a bit more like, that's very, very detailed. But if it's something like just that you can hold that, like, I'm not sure if you use just double-sided tape to kind of like put it there, or if it has slots. Like, there's a lot that can go on. So you have to be very, very specific in what it is that you're wanting to learn. Like, what part of it, like, is it, like, if you are able to come to the session with, okay, I want to be able to make this in this shape, I can kind of, we may not be able to go through and like, okay, we're going to draw this out, because that sometimes it's some technical stuff and I have to kind of like figure things out. contrary to, I know you guys see certain things and just seems like, oh my God, like this is amazing. Them things don't come together in 2.5 seconds. Like you have to kind of like sometimes do some trial and error and try out certain things and make certain shapes and cut certain things off. So that is just really having an understanding of design if you're trying to create something completely from scratch. If it's something that was like a pocket, you have to then know like how to duplicate the sides, make the little tabs that you can glue it down so that it doesn't stick together and you can slide. Like there's a lot of technical things to it depending on what it is that you're trying to make. Okay. She was like, yes, Lord, that program has saved me so much. All right. So thank you guys so very much. Until next time, have a great one. Continue to unlock your creativity and be incredible. Peace.